crying out there. Thank you so much for coming to the closing night of Julius Caesar. It's very unfortunate that we only get 3 performances, but that's just the way it is. Thank you for coming out on Passover, for maybe missing some Easter plans. Just thank you all so much. I'm Jess Miller. I'm the director of this show that you're about to see tonight. I proposed this show to direct over a year ago. So he's been my baby for a while now. And it's been a long road. I don't know really what I'm going to do. And I don't know what I'm going to do when it's over. As you can see, I'm trying to stretch this out. We have a show for you to watch. I have so many people that I have to thank for making my job over this past year one of the most fun and most enjoyable jobs I've ever had. My mom and dad, who are here tonight, my brother, who's also here tonight, my girlfriend, who is studying abroad in Morocco, but who was able to Skype in to watch the show last night and the night before. Yeah, she's great. My roommates, Ben and Matthew, and my unofficial roommate, Sarah. All of the cast, they have done a fantastic job. All of the tech people, everybody whose name you see in the program, and especially all of you, because you all are really what make live theater happen. Because we've been rehearsing for 2 months, but without you, there is no show. I also have to thank our producers, Hazel, Kim, and Wendy, and the UVA Alumni Fund, the Parents Fund, and Student Council for giving us the money to put on this show. I think that's, well, it's definitely not everybody, but that's enough for now. A couple little things. The exits are in the back there, and then there are 2 on the sides in the very unlikely event of an emergency. Yeah, I think that's all I have. So let's get this show on the road. Thank you all again so much for coming, and I really hope you enjoy Julius Caesar.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar, to rejoice in his triumph.
Rejoice! What conquest brings he home? Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome! Do you not, Pompey? Many a time and up, and you climbed up to walls and battle with your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Begone!
They vanish, tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way, towards the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so, you know it is the Feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick.
Calpurnia!
Peace, ho! Caesar speaks.
Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way, looking up front his course. Antonius!
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia, for our elders say the baron, touched in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember this. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Caesar!
Ha! Who calls?
And bid every noise be still. Peace yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cry, Caesar! Speak! Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He's a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course? Not I. I pray you, do. I'm not gamesome. I do lack some of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder Cassius your desires. I'll leave
Brutus, I do observe you now. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late of passions of some difference, which give some soil, perhaps, to my behaviors. But let not, therefore, my good friends be grieved, nor construe any further my neglect, than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, good Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors, as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so?
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me?
Well, is the subject of my story. I was born free as Caesar. So were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly would nod on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I didn't know how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. And that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write speeches in their books, alas! It cried, "Give me some drink, Titanius!" As a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me, a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride a narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that? Caesar. Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them. It is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Age. Thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. If you would work me to, I have some aim. Oh, I've thought of this and of these times I shall recount hereafter. I would not, for this present, so with love I might entreat you, be any further moved. What you have said I will consider. What you have to say I will with patience hear. And find a time of meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve and equal after his sour factor. Tell you what hath proceeded worthy note.
I will do so, Cassius, but look you, the angry spot doth glow in Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chin train.
Casca will tell us what the matter is. Antonius!
Caesar, my lord.
Let me have men about me that are fat. Young Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
What if he were fatter? But I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. Come on my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us about the chance today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand. Thus, and the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last noise for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, married was it, and he put it by thrice, every time gentler than other.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of a gentle Casca.
It was mere foolery. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. Yet, 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But, to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers on it. Then he offered it to him the third time. He put it the third time by. And still, as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands and uttered such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar had refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down in it. And for my own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
What soft, I pray you. What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
Which is very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me open his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And so he fell. When he came unto himself again, he said that if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul," and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away.
Aye. There was more news, too. Marellus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off of Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could think of it.
Will you dine with me tomorrow, Casca?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will inspect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be?
This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives man's stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
So it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, come home to me and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet, I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. For who's so firm? Therefore, it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their lives, for who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but Cassius, we should not humor thee. I will this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Good evening, Captain. Brought you Caesar home. Why are you breathless and why stare you so?
Are you not moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfurled? Oh, Cicero, I've seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks. I have seen the ocean swell and rage and foam. But never till tonight, never till now, did I go through a tempest dropping fire.
Why saw you anything more wonderful?
Against the Capitol I met a lion who glared upon me and went surly by. And yesterday the bird of night did sit even at noonday upon the marketplace, hooting and shrieking. When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say, these are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe they are portentous things unto the climate that they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time, but men may construe things after their fashion, being from the purpose of the things themselves. Come seated to the Capitol tomorrow.
He doth, before he did bid Antonius send word to you that he would be there tomorrow.
Good night then, Captain. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the streets, submitting me unto the perilous night.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the mightiest of gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life that should be in a Roman, you do want. But if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires? Why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts from quality and kind? Why all these things change from their ordinance to monstrous quality? Why? You shall find that heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night? A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow meet to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius
from bondage will deliver Cassius. No airless dungeon or strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks power to dismiss itself. If I know this, know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man!
I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep.
So vile a thing is Caesar! But, me, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman. And I know my answer must be made. But I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand, and I will put this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo the enterprise of honorable, dangerous quality.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
Oh, 'tis Cinna. I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Cinna, where haste you, sir?
To find out you. Who's that? Metellicimber?
No, it is Casco, one incorporate to our request.
I am glad.
I not faithful, sir.
What a fearful night is this? There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content. Cinna, take you this paper, and look you, lay it in the praetor's chair where Brutus may not find it, and throw this in at his window. Set this up with wax upon old Brutus' statue. All this done, prepare to Pompey's porch where you shall find us. If it pleases Brutus, enter forth.
All but Metellicimber. He's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hide, so bestow these papers as you bade me.
Come, Casca. You and I will get ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already. When a man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Boy, Lucius! Cannot by the progress of the stars can guess how near today. Lucius, I say!
Called you, my lord?
Get me a chamber in my study, Lucius.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn him but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reasons. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks into the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, and lest he may, prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented, will run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched, will as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
Sir, searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, thus sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again, it is not day. It is not tomorrow, boy. The Ides of March.
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
The exhalations whizzing in the air with so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Shall roam, etc. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake. Such instigations have often been dropped where I have took them up. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 14 days.
Tis good. Go to the gates when he knocks.
Sir, 'tis your brother Cassius at the door.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their clothes.
Let them enter. They are the faction. O conspiracy, shame is thou to show thy dangerous brows by night, when the evils are most free. Oh, that by day.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And no man here but honors you. Every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This Casca. This Cinna. And this Metellus Symbol.
They are all welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No.
Oh, pardon, sir, it doth, and yon gray lines that fret the clouds are messengers of day.
You shall confess that you are both deceived. Here, as I point my sword, the sun arises, which is a great way growing on the south.
Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No. Not an oath. Not the face of men, the sufferance of souls, the time's abuse. These be motives weak. Break off betimes, so let high-sided tyranny range on. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, then what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engage, and this shall be, or we will fall for it? Swear priests and cowards and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs. But do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise to think either our cause or our performance to need an oath.
No, by no means.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion.
I'll name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men began.
Then leave him out.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and you know, his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, which, to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut off the head and then hack the limbs, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And for Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die.
Stop the clock.
The clock has stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown of late. The unaccustomed terror of this night may well hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him, for he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. Let me work and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will, all of us, be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour. Is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not.
The morning comes upon us.
We'll leave you, Brutus. Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so good morrow to you, everyone. Lucius! Fast asleep. It is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber.
Brutus, my lord?
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks, gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape, as it hath much prevailed on your condition. I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were, in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know the secret? I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. Think you I am no stronger than my sex? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them.
Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the character of my sad brows. Leave me with haste.
Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho! They murder Caesar!" And who's within?
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Yet Caesar shall forth. For the things that threatened me ne'er looked upon my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are bent.
Caesar? I never stood on ceremony. Now they frighten me. There's one within recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
Yet Caesar shall go forth. For these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar.
But when beggars die, there are no comets seen.
Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never tasted death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, unnecessary and will come when it will come. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he.
Your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you were not well today.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus. He shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not, falser. I will not come. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he's sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for thy private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw a statue which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it, and these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knees hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathe, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
And know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall be meek with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid?
How foolish you are fiercing now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Get me my robe, for I will go. And look where Publius has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Publius. What, Brutus? Are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. What is it o'clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck at 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony pity that rebels long and nights has not been standing up, good morrow, Antony.
So too, most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am too late to be thus waited for. Now, Cinna. Now, Metellus. What, Trebonius? I have an hour's talk in store for you. Be near me that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that your best friends shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
That every like is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus yearns to think upon.
More void in there. Speak to great Caesar as he comes along.
Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am merry. Come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
Hello, mad. Sirrah, give place.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise, Cicero?
Very well.
What's that, Cicero?
We wish today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how he makes to Caesar hearken.
Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius for Caesar never shall not turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Cicero speaks not of our purposes, for look, he smiles and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows his time. Look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
He is addressed. Press here and second him.
Casca, you are the first that raised your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat a humble
I
heart.
must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend, pray, fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have immediate freedom of repeal.
But Brutus,
As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius. Stoop then and wash! How many ages hence shall this, our lofty scene, be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown? So oft as this shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty!
But here comes Antony. I know we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet have I a mind that fears him much, and my misgivings still fall shrewdly to the purpose.
Welcome.
O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Hear thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech you, if you do bear me hard fulfill your pleasure, live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to
Oh,
die.
Antony! Beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper, do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient, till we've appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear. Then we will deliver you the cause. Why I did love Caesar when I struck him, and thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, will I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Yours, Cinna. Yours, Metellus. And my valiant Casca, yours. Though last, not last in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen, all at last, what shall I say? That either one of two bad ways you must conceive me, either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. Had I as many eyes as thou hast, who, weeping as fast as they spill forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Oh, pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou obeying brave heart.
Mark Antony!
Pardon me. Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, and a friend is but cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all upon this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle? Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That is all I seek. And am moreover suitor that I may speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
that which he will utter.
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first and show the reason for our Caesar's death. When Antony shall speak, I will protest. He speaks by leave and by permission. It will advantage one if it was wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Here, Antony, take your Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission, else you shall not have any hand at all about his funeral. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then. Follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man who have ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood! Over thy wounds now do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, shall look in these confines of the monarch's voice, cry, Have it! And let slip the dogs of war. This foul deed should smell above the earth with carrion men, groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did write for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming. He bid me say to you by word of mouth, Caesar!
My heart's big. Get thee apart and weep. Mine eyes sing of grief of sorrow, sin and thine begin to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight, within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post thee back with haste and tongue of chance. This is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Have ye hence and tell him so. Yea, stay a while. Thou shalt not back thy born this body into the marketplace. Let me thy hand.
Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, This is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living, to die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There was tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
Not Brutus!
How have I offended? I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. Here lies the body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall have the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not. With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I hold the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live! Be Caesar! Caesar the crown and Brutus!
My countrymen!
Be silent! Brutus speaks!
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Stay home, let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go into the public chair. We'll hear him. Noble Antony, go on.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholden to you.
What does he say of Brutus? He says, for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholden to us all. For best he speak no harm of Brutus here. Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him. Peace, let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in him seem ambitious? When that the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. But Brutus says he was ambitious. Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not, friends, to disprove what Brutus spoke, but I am here to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then now to mourn for him? Oh, judgment! Thou art fled to Brutus' peace and men of austerities! Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his saying.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong. As he masters, I fear there will a worse come in his place.
Mark to his words, he would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
Poor soul, his eyes red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Yes.
Was yesterday the word if Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there. Masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who, as you all know, are honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds.
We'll hear it, we'll read it, Mark
Friends, have patience. I shall not read the will. It is not need to know how Caesar loved you. It will inflame you. It will make you mad. Have patience. Will you stay a while? I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors. They're villains, murderers. Read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will.
Yes.
Make a ring about the corpse of Caesar. Let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend? Will you give me leave?
Please. All right. Let's do Anthony.
Hey, press not so far, Punk. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. Look, in this place ran Cassius staggered through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark of the blood of Caesar did follow it, as if rushing out of doors to be resolved if Brutus unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him! This, friends, was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the mighty Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, like vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over.
Oh, piteous
Oh, Caesar!
Oh, traitors!
We will be revenged!
Let us hear noble Antony.
Friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, I tell you that which you yourselves do know. I show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. Which were I, Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there where Antony would ruffle up your spirits, and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
We'll burn the house of Brutus.
Yet hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak!
Hear Antony.
Oh, good friends, you go to do you know not what. You forgot the will I told you of. There's the will. Under the seal of Caesar, he gives to every Roman citizen, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
We'll revenge his death!
Hear me with patience! Moreover, he hath given you all his walks, his private arbors and newly planted orchards, to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never! We'll burn his body in the holy place. Like the brands, fire the traitor's house.
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou of course thou wilt.
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit them.
I heard him say that Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Oh, like they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar. Things unlucky charge my fancy. I have no will to wander forth of doors, yet something leads me forth.
What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Answer every man directly.
I am free. I am truly your best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Then to answer every man directly and briefly and truly, directly I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
Or you're dwelling briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
Your name, sir, truly.
Truly, my name is Cinna.
He's a conspirator!
I'm Cinna the poet! I'm Cinna the poet! I'm not Cinna the conspirator!
That don't matter his name, Cinna.
Brands,
Ho, firebrands! Brutus to pass the turn all. Some stations say
These many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition Publius shall not live, who is your sister's son, Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, spot I damn him. Regardless, go you to mine own house. Fetch the will whither we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies.
What, shall I find you here?
Or at the capital.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit the threefold world divided that you should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his voice who should be pricked to die.
I've seen more days than you, Octavius. Now we lay these honors on this man, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business. And having brought our treasure where we will, then take we down his load and turn him off.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. For that I do appoint him store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, and in some regards is Lepidus but so. He must be taught and trained and bid go forth, but as a property. Now, Octavius, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. And therefore, let our alliance be combined. Let us presently go sit in council how covert matters may be best disclosed.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake and bait about with many enemies.
He is at hand, and Pindarus has come to do you salutation from his master.
He greets me well. Your master, Pindarus, hath given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt that my noble master will appear, such as he is, full of regard and honor.
He is not doubted. A word, Julius. Now, if he received you, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances as yet used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note, Lucilius, there are no tricks in plain and simple faith, but hollow men, like horses hot at hand, make gallant show and promise of their mettle. But when they should endure the bloody spur, they fall their crests and, like deceitful jades, sink in the trial. Comes his army on?
They mean this night at Sardis to be quartered. The greater part are come with Cassius.
Hark, he has arrived.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, this sober form of yours hides wrongs. And when you do that,
Cassius, be content. Speak your grief softly, I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, who should receive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Tyndarus, bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground.
Lucilius, do you the like, and let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference. Let Lucius and Titinius guard our door.
you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters, praying on his side, because I knew the man would slide it off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear his comments.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold.
I, an itching palm! You know you are Brutus that speak this, or, by the gods, this is speech, or else you're lax.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab, and not for justice? What? Shall one of us that touch the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers? Shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes? I had rather be a dog and bathe the moon than such a rogue.
Brutus, bay not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier. I, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself.
Obey, slight man.
Is possible.
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure this?
All this. Aye, more. Fret till your proud heart break. Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you're a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your vaunting.
I said an elder soldier, not better.
You did, I care not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you shall be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind. By heaven, I'd rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than wring from the hard hands of peasants their violent trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was this done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so?
I deny you not. I did not! He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath writhed my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
Not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your
A
faults.
friendly eye? could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Oh, come, Antony, and young Octavius, come! Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius, hated by one he loves, brave by his brother.
I, that deny thee gold, will give my heart. Strike, as thou didst at Caesar, for I know, when thou didst hate him worse, thou loved him better than ever thou loved Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Do what you will, dishonor shall be humor.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke that I was ill-tempered too.
You confess so much?
Give me thy hand.
My heart too.
Oh, Brutus!
What's the matter?
Have not you love enough to bear with me when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius, and from henceforth, when you are over-earnest with your Brutus, they'll think your mother chides and leave you so. Titanius, bid the commanders prepare to lodge their companies tonight.
And come yourself, and bring Masala with you immediately to us.
Lucius, a bowl of wine.
I did not think you could be so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy, you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Portia?
She is dead.
Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and her attendants absent, she swallowed fire.
Oh, ye immortal gods.
Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's law.
Come in, Titanius. Welcome, good Masala. Now sit me close about this table here, and call in question our necessities. Masala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself had letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died by their prescriptions, Cicero being one.
Cicero is dead, and by that order of prescription.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi, and this ground do stand but any forced affection. The enemy, marching along by them shall make a fuller number up. From which advantage shall we cut him off, if in Philippi we do face him there? These people are our back.
Hear me, good brother.
Our legions are brimful, our cause is right. The enemy increaseth every day. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current it serves.
Then, with your will, go on. Wheel along ourselves, and meet them at Philippi.
Deep of night have crept upon our talk. Nature must obey necessity. There is no more to say.
No more. Early tomorrow will we rise and hence.
Farewell, good Solomon. Good night, Titinius. Noble, noble Cassius. Good night and good repose.
Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never comes such division between our souls. Let it not bruise.
Everything is well.
Good night, then.
Good night, good brother.
Good night, Lord Williams.
Good night,
Farewell,
Lord
everyone.
Williams.
Lucius! Where's thy instrument?
Here, in the tent.
Thou speakst drowsily. Poor knave, I blame thee not, thou nor watched. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
It is my duty, sir.
I should not hold thy duty past thy night. I know young bloods that for tempered rest.
I have slept, my lord, already.
It was well done, and thou shalt sleep again. I will not hold thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee. This is a sleepy tune. Murderous slumber, lace thou thy leaden mace upon my boy. I will not do thee so much wrong to wake thee. If thou dost now, thou breakst thy instrument. I'll take it from thee. Good boy, good night. How ill this taper burns! Ha! Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that makes my blood cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Now that I've taken heart, thou vanishest. Ill spirit, I would no more talk with thee. Lucius!
The strings, my lord, are false.
Thinks he is still his instrument. Lucius, awake!
My lord?
Didst thou dream, Lucius, that thou so criedst out?
My lord, I did not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my lord.
Now, Antony, it seems our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here.
But I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. Thinking by this face 2,000 in our cause, they have courage. But it is not so.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast, I think. We must out and talk.
Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar will answer on their charge.
Stir not until the signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony! The posture of
are yet unknown. But for your words, they rob the hive of bees and leave them honey.
Not stingless, too.
Oh, yes, and soundless too, for you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely bred before you sting.
Villains! You did not so with your vile daggers hack one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes and fawed like hounds and vowed like bondmen kissing Caesar's feet, while stand caskling and curve behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterer!
Flatterer! Now thank yourself, Brutus. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled.
Come, the cause. If arguing make us sweat, let the proof of it turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never, till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitor.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitor's hands.
I was not born to die on Brutus's sword.
Young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
Even schoolboy, worthless of such honor.
Old Cassius still.
Come, Antony, away. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Why now blow winds? Swell below and this wind bark.
Oh, Lucilius, hark a word.
My lord,
Messala,
What says my general?
give me thy hand, Messala. Be thou my witness that against my will am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. Coming from Sardis on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly over our heads, and downward look on us as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
But believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly.
Even so, Lucilius.
Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly, that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you then determined to do?
Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end the work the Ides of March begun, and whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true. This parting was well made.
Why then, lead on! No, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come, but it sufficeth that the day will end, and that the end is known. Come home, away! And sudden push gives them the overthrow.
thou lovest me. Mount thou my horse and drive thy spurs in until he hath to yonder truth and here again, that I may rest assured whether yon truth are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Go, Pinderus, get higher on that hill, and tell me what thou knowest about the field. And where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run his compass. Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord.
What news?
Titinius is enclosed round about. Now, Titinius? Now, some light? Oh, he lights too. He is taken. And hark, they shout for joy.
Come down. Behold no more. Oh, coward that I am, to live so long, to see my best friend taken before my face. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner. Now be a free man. And with this good sword that ran through Caesar's, thou wilt search his bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilts. Guide thou the sword. Caesar! Thou art revenged! Even with the sword that killed me.
So I am free. Yet would not so have been, durst I had done my will. Oh, Cassius, far from this country Pinderus shall run, where never Roman shall take note of him.
It is much changed, Titinius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus's power, as Cassius's legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart!
Is not that he?
No. This was he, Messala. But Cassius is no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius's day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. Oh, hateful error, melancholy child, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but killest the mother that engendered thee.
What, Pinderus? Where art thou, Pinderus?
Seek him, Titinius, whilst I go to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears.
Hide you, Messala, and I will seek for Pinderus the one. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? Didst thou not hear their shouts?
body lie?
Lo, yonder, and Titinius mourning it.
Titinius' face is upward.
He is slain.
O Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet! Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our proper entrails.
Brave Titinius.
Are yet 2 Romans living such as these? The last of all the Romans fare thee well. It is impossible ever Rome should breed that fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. This funeral shall not be in our camp, lest it discomfort us. Lucilius, come. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans yet ere night. We shall try fortune in a second fight. Come, poor remains of friends. Rest on this rock.
Statilius showed the torchlight, but, my lord, he came not back. He's either taken or slain.
Sit down, Lucilius. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Hark ye, Lucilius.
What? I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
He said no words.
I'll rather kill myself.
Good Volumnius, come hither. List a word. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me 2 several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here at Philippi Fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I'm sure it is. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Volumnius, thou knowest that we 2 went to school together. Even for that our love of old, I prithee, holdst thou my sword hilt whilst I run upon it?
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, fly, my lord. There is no tarrying here.
Farewell to you. And you, Volumnius. Lucius, thou hast all this while been asleep. Farewell to thee too, Lucius. Countrymen, I shall have glory in this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony. So fare you well at once, for Brutus' tongue hath almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes. My bones would rest that have but labored to attain this hour. I will follow. I prithee, Lucius. Stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of a good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn away thy face while I run upon it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Fare you well, my lord.
Farewell, good Lucius. killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
My master's man. Lucius, where is thy master?
Free from the bondage you are in, Jess. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death. Oh,
How died my master, Lucius?
I held the sword, and he did run on it. Oh.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only in a general honest thought and common good to all made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.